Hey guys, Brett here, and today I'm testing out a new cloud-based software called Engagey Builder. And I had some questions about the software, so I actually contacted Sam Becker. Sam put me in touch with Keith, and Keith started answering my questions via a live Skype call. And I started thinking to myself, like, why don't I record this? Why don't I make an interview of this? Why don't I let you guys see the questions that I have and see the answers that I get? So Keith has decided to come and talk to me and answer my questions. Keith, thank you very much for taking that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here, Brett.
So real quick, do you want to start off, like, just what is the premise of Engagey Builder? Where did the idea from this come from anyway?
Well, the idea really stemmed from, just video marketing in general. We all know how hot video marketing is. I think a while back there was some software come out where you could kind of, throw in opt-in forms and, calls to actions on top of your videos, which is all well and good. But the idea really came to me is, what about creating those engagements on your page? So you really kind of bring your page to life based on a certain point in the video. So if you're going through maybe talking about some features of your software, instead of having things pop up over on the top of the video, why not have it next to the video, on top of the video, to the right of the video, to the bottom, anywhere really on the page around that video. And then create, kind of timed to certain points of the video, as well as putting a little bit of animation to it as well. So it really engages it gives the viewer, the visitor, kind of something to do besides just staring at the video, just kind of watching it. This is a way to really kind of grab their attention, throw out a call to action, a buy button, whatever that may be.
Now, when I started testing this before, I had some questions, and we were just getting to the point where you were answering them for me and showing me the stuff that I had questions about on the Skype call. Can we just jump right into that and go into like where you were showing off the software, and I'll ask you the questions that I had?
Absolutely.
All right, can you go ahead and share your screen for us?
I sure can. Let me go ahead. All right, just let me know if you can, if everything looks good.
Yep, I see myself. There we go.
Excellent. All right, Brett, I don't know if you want to start out with questions, or if you want to just kind of have me walk you through some of the basics of getting started.
Well, I've already built one of the videos with this before, and that's where I had my questions. If you can just go ahead and walk us and show us how to build an engagement with this. And then when we get to the point where I had questions, I'll just, blatantly interrupt you. And
that sounds good to me. Okay, what I'm going to do is I've got a bunch of saved videos, which is one of the features of Engage Player. So I've searched a bunch of marketing videos and saved them for later use. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick one here. Now, what you're going to basically do is you got to decide on a source for your video. We offer YouTube, Vimeo, or MP4. So you can host your own videos. We actually have connection to S3 as well, so you can upload videos right through our app that will go right to your S3 account, and then we'll keep those saved here. As you can see, there's tabs: Vimeo, YouTube, and S3. So what I'm going to do is just going to grab a YouTube one here and just go ahead and create a new engagement. And what that's going to do is bring you to the first step here, which is basically naming your engagement. So we'll just we'll call this the old Brett demo. This has selected my source for me, YouTube, and it has carried the source URL and already entered that in. Now, if you wanted to just manually create one, if you didn't have the saved videos, you can simply copy any YouTube URL, Vimeo, or MP4, paste it there, and just select the correct source. Now, you can also have intros and outro videos to these, and we mainly put this feature in for folks that want to use somebody else's videos but want to have some personalization to it. Now, it's not required that you use an intro or an outro, but you can. You just simply paste the source here of where it's coming from for each, and we'll basically kind of splice those together for you. So you'll have an intro video, a main video, and your outro video, and you can apply engagements across any of those like it's one big timeline.
So that's almost like if I was doing a product review, I can make a little video of myself and say, "Hey guys, Brett, Brett here. I'm really excited to show you this." Then show your actual demo, and then at the end, I can say, "I hope you loved it. Here's the link to buy it."
You got it. That's exactly right. Okay, so what we'll do, like I said, we'll just for this demonstration, we'll just go ahead and use a main. So we're just going to save those video details. All right, and as it loads up, you'll see we've got a very easy drag and drop builder here. We do have provided some templates for you to use, and what these templates are essentially is just basically some grid layouts that you can just get started with, some of the more common layouts, just to make it a little bit easier. I've been using this for using it so much, it's easier for me just to go ahead and use our grid system. which is basically just pulling rows with different, different dimensions for each of the columns. As you see, they're kind of laid out here, many different choices to use. So for this example, I'm just going to pull a 50-50, which is basically going to just divide one, one basically div container here into two to 50% each. I'm then going to go ahead and grab my EP builder right here. So this is basically the video that I've used. This is the source right here. Now you can only have one EP video in an engagement because that's the one you're going to build all of your engagements around.
That was actually one of the questions that I was going to ask you originally, was why was it asking for, because I noticed there's also little icons here for like YouTube, Vimeo, for other videos. And I was going to ask you, why are they asking for a video in the beginning if you just add it by dragging it in? But what the beginning is actually this EP video, and that those others if you want additional videos. Is that what it is?
That's exactly right. So if I wanted to load another video, another YouTube or Vimeo video somewhere on the page at a certain point of your main video, then by all means, go ahead.
Okay, well that explains that then.
Yep. And also, Brett, just to answer a few of your questions, we have a pretty robust training section in here as well. It's got, probably 10 different videos where we go into depth with all of, especially the builder. So there's a lot of tutorials in there as well.
Yeah, I'll be totally honest. When I noticed there was a training in there, but being totally honest, normally when I test, I don't watch the training.
I'm the same way, man, believe me.
I'd rather just bug you guys instead.
I just go in and start pushing things, yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, there's really kind of two areas here that I can talk about. One, like I had said, is you can have overlays right on top of the video, so you don't really necessarily need to build engagements around your page if you just simply want to have it on the video. We've all seen these before. They have form opt-ins, so that a form basically will pop up over my video at a certain given time. We have different options for that, to show at the beginning, the end. Or you can go ahead and build yourself at custom times. Also, like what to do for a form after you submit it. Do you want this video to continue to play after they submit? So in other words, you can stop that video. So as soon as this form appears, you can stop the video, make them take action, and then after submission, you can have it go ahead and just continue to play the video. Or you could just simply keep the video going as the form is over on the top. It's really up to you. We give you endless kind of ideas there or ways that you can do it. So we'll also offer some integrations. We integrate with probably 8 to 10 different autoresponders. You can have multiple connections to each of them if you want to send one engagement to one list, one engagement to another list. You can go ahead and do that. And obviously, we have some form field options here for you to play with as well. And of course, the good old raw HTML embed, which is always fun. So, we can provide the mapping. It works very much like a lot of other software does that allows integrations. It's pretty simple to use. And also a button builder. You can go ahead and really customize this thing to your heart's desire. There's a lot of different choices, changing labels. Height, font sizes. Again, I won't go through every single one of these, but a lot of different options there. Now, the exact same settings really apply to call to actions. We'll allow you to put text, which basically is just your robust text editor. So it will apply text over the top of the video at intervals, whichever interval you choose. Images. You can have appear as well, and then of course custom buttons. And these are all the same types of settings, so it's pretty easy to use and pretty robust. We also have styling for every element that you use, so you can apply some padding or some margins if you want a transparent background or not. You can set a background color behind it. So very robust settings for this.
Let me ask you a question real quick. That raw HTML, for the form code, right? Now, obviously, that's designed for form code. But what happens if I put in code in there that's not form code?
You would not be able to use it because what we do is we actually check behind it and strip out because we only allow. Let me go back on here. Email address is automatic. It's something you cannot turn off. Most autoresponders, just about all of them that I can think of anyway, it's required to have that email address in there, so we don't allow you to turn it off. And then we allow first name and last name. So we've limited the fields that you're allowed to put on this opt-in form, and really, I don't think that's an issue because how many fields are you going to fit on a video?
Like what if I put a retargeting pixel in there in raw HTML or something like that? Is your system going to strip that out, or are you going to allow that?
It would just strip it out. Yeah, it would simply strip it out.
Okay, yeah, I figured I would ask before because I was going to write about that in the review, and I figured I would ask just to be sure. Yeah. I want to tell people the wrong thing. I can understand though that I could write some pretty nasty JavaScript if you didn't strip it out. So
yeah, absolutely. We're looking for some very specific things that, and if we don't find them, it's stripped out and just simply won't, won't work. Okay, so yeah, also just a couple other video settings just in general here. You can switch aspect ratios from 4:3 to 16:9, auto start, loop, hide the video controls. We have a nice little feature here. You can resume where the user left off. So basically, if somebody gets halfway through your video, goes away, closes the browser, comes back 3 days later, we give them a choice of whether resuming where they left off or just to go ahead and restart the video. As well as the pausing when the video is off screen. So if I have the video playing and I pop a tab or pop a new window, it'll basically pause that video until you come back and put focus back on the browser so that the video is just not playing in the background. After all, it's about engagement, so we want them to be engaged.
Okay, that's cool. I like that idea. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So that's basically your video settings. So all those settings that I just showed you is all things that you could do right on top of, of your videos. So the part that I think distinguishes us from really the rest of, I guess the players that are out there is the ability to create engagements on the page as well. Okay, so basically what we can do is we can take a column over here and we can apply a paragraph, which is a nice robust editor. We've all seen the WYSIWYGs before. So you can go ahead and do that, a ton of different fonts to choose from, sizes and whatnot. We have images. You're allowed to place images there as well. Custom buttons. You can actually have a form as well. And I'm actually just drag one on here real quick. So like now you'll see this, how this gets stacked like this. Well, that's super ugly. If it's something that you're going to have 100%, if I had this up in here, that would be fine. A nice stacked fields would look good. However, what we allow you to do is actually put it in line as well. So now it's nice. Now that makes sense, right? So we have them right next to each other. So it looks presentable on the page. As we were talking about before, we have the YouTube, the Vimeo videos as well. We have a little map feature in here. If it's local, local marketing, and you want to, play something with your address on it, you can have that up here as well. And we give you really the ultimate, which is the code. So if you're comfortable with HTML code and you can, get those snippets, you can simply drag that in, copy and paste your HTML in, and you can use that element and animate that as well.
What kind of HTML? Is that for form code, or what is that for?
This one here, the code is just HTML.
Okay.
Yep. So as we have these on the page, now, again, it works pretty much the same way as far as setting the timing of the animation. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. We've given a lot of options. So as you see when I select, I can select certain, that's my last pass, excuse me, select certain elements. They kind of highlight green so you know which one you're on. You'll see also over here where the timing and effects are. So if I wanted to, what I could do is start to play this video and say, okay, right here, I want to start it. Okay, so as you'll see, 4.7 seconds comes into the start. If I roll over these, you're going to see little tooltips that tell you what these things are. Display start time and end start time. That would work as if I want to bring it on a certain time and I want to get rid of it at a different time. If you'd like it just to be there for the entire video, great. Don't put an out time on it. Another way you can also do it is just manually enter it in there. Let's just say I want it at 5 seconds. All right, so we just enter the 5 in there. That's when it'll appear. And I can also apply some effects to that specific element as well. Maybe we'll just use shake. It'll actually demonstrate it for you right there as well. Now with the shake and with all of our animations, there's a little additional settings. It really depends on which animation you choose as to what you can set, but there's different directions you can make it. In this case, shake, distance, times, duration, tons of different easing. So you can have it come in nice and slow, nice and fast, have it bounce like a rubber band, all kinds of different settings that you can play with there. So now at this point, I could leave that on there. And like I said, if I wanted to leave, I could do it one of 2 ways. I can go ahead and start my video up again, get it timed exactly right, and say, okay, stop. Okay, so I want it to basically end. I want it to come in at 5. I want it to go away at 8.2. And I can also apply an out to it, an out animation, like a fade. So then it'll just basically fade off. And you can replace that text then with something, with another element that you may have underneath it. So you're just basically stacking these types of animations and applying them when you want them to come on.
I was just going to say, this is a great system. So if you delete one of the columns, then the next one's going to move up and take its place.
Exactly. If you remove, yes. If you being a programmer, completely understand that we would basically remove that element and then replace it with whichever one you've timed to come on next, basically. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So now almost like you can get like the text to animate, like a little presentation going as well, if you really wanted to.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And you'll see even on our sales page, we're in the making that for our main video. We have pretty much exactly what I'm talking about, where we're kind of going through some features, and those features are kind of coming in one at a time, timed up with the sales video, you know, as well. So you'll definitely get a demonstration of that right on the sales page.
And one of the questions I had as well is, why is this a grid system? And this partially answers it because of this type of system with the stacking, with the elements coming in and out.
Yeah.
But also, and I kind of think I kind of realized it when I looked at the embed code, this is mobile responsive too, right?
It is, yes, absolutely.
So that explains the grid system as well.
Yes, yes, agreed.
Okay, so once we have this built, what's next? What do we do now?
All right, so let's just, for sake of demonstration, I'm just going to kind of leave this the way it is. I'm just going to go ahead and save it. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a little embed code. Okay, so basically what we're going to see is this thing pop on at 5 seconds and then leave at 8.2. So we'll hit next, and we'll grab this little piece of code, and I have kind of a test dummy WordPress page here that we can just throw it into real quick. And we'll throw that in there and just save the draft. Oh, nice slow internet. There we go. Okay. And again, excuse my incredible design skills, as you'll see. Okay, so right now I had the resume where I left off. So I'm just going to say no thanks on this one. Now you're going to see my area that I have this in is super skinny. So it's responsive, right? So it's going to drop any elements that won't fit into, you know, your area. So especially like in blogs, I mean, blogs always has the skinny little, you know, little piece of content. So it will stack and respond basically like any responsive element on the page. So even though I've built this 50-50, one next to each other, the area I'm putting it is just too small. We did that so that it didn't shrink the video down so tiny, you know, that you really couldn't see it. So we maintain the aspect of the video and then stack as we should, as normal.
Magic number, 1 million. How can you get 1 million people to pay attention to whatever?
All right, and there it came in. So that's where my animation came in, and there it went out. So again, very quick demonstration, but you can see how it animates on, animates off. And of course, I'd want to play with it a little bit more and refine it, you know, if I were actually doing an engagement. And that's,
I like that it's mobile responsive. You know, there's been other players, you know, other players with overlays and stuff. But this is the first one that I've seen that was mobile responsive. I've written players that have overlays and stuff personally, but it's not mobile responsive. So yeah, I like that you've done that.
Excellent. Yeah.
It actually gave it away when I looked at the code. Like I said, I saw that it has a width of 100% and a height of 0. I was like, oh, they're adjusting this. So there we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta make it mobile, man. Everyone's all about mobile.
So after this, is there any kind of like statistics or tracking or anything like that in here?
There is actually, and I'll go ahead and hop out of this thing here right now. And we're making a few tweaks to our reporting system here. But you have reports that you can basically, it'll record basically the engagement time. So basically the watch time of the video across all of your users. Now, what you can do is you can actually pick multiple. Now, a lot of these are such, I really never put a lot of these live. They were just used for testing. But it'll basically give me all the engagements that I've built. And then I'll just pick one here. Let me see. I'm going to pick that one there. And what it will do, yeah, so okay, this one actually has some live engagement time because we don't use, when you preview, we don't use those seconds to put into the reporting because obviously that's skewing the results. So it will go ahead and map that over time. Now I can pick a date selection as well if I want to, you know, to see it just within a certain time. We have a couple different views, more of the kind of bar view and then the line chart as well. But if I wanted to, and I apologize, I don't know if I have any in here that actually have watch times on them. But if I were to pick another one, it will basically go ahead and apply that on top of the other. So so you'll be able to see compare one engagement with another. Now, the reason you might want to do that is I could have the exact same video in 2 different engagements. I may build those engagements differently. One, I may just have the overlays on top of the video. The other, I might want to use on-page engagements and see, hey, which one's getting more watch time, which ones are responding more. I can lay those on top of each other and look at that during a certain date range and see which engagement is best. So it's a bit of A/B testing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that you have that feature.
Yeah, yep. And we're tweaking the grid. I'll tell you, I've went through about 10 different graphs just to find the right one, and we're never satisfied. We're always trying to improve.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about like the pricing or anything like that?
Yeah. Right now, I believe we have there's a few different options on the front end. There's a monthly and a yearly, and we also have a one-time, which will be only available for for that first week of launch. And that one-time price is we're going to start out with a little early bird special of $47, and that will eventually increase throughout the week. That particular price. Moving into our premium package is basically, I believe we have that set at 37 right now. And what that premium package gives you is the ability to find the videos in-app, save them, integrate with S3. The reporting is actually part of the premium as well. And I believe you'll get some extra templates as well inside the builder for that premium package.
So without the premium upgrade, there's no stats?
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
Yep, and then on the enterprise, which is for our real ambitious users out there, you're basically going to get full white labeling options, which allow you to customize and kind of brand this yourself. So change logo, change name, colors, scheme. You can change to fit your needs, as well as user management. And we've built it really two different ways. One for the user management, and I don't want to click it now because I have a lot of email addresses in here I don't want to broadcast. So you can either manually set users up, depending on your sales model and how you're selling this thing. If you have clients that you're selling it to, whatever way you'd like to do it, you can go ahead and manually set them to a basic or a white premium plan. So you really have two choices there. So you can try to upsell, on that matter. And we also have a more advanced version, and there's training modules and documents around if you want to hook to PayPal. So we've built in PayPal IPN integration as well as JVZoo. Now, for something like that, I'm going to tell everybody you will need a developer to go ahead and push that file live for you and make a couple of little edits in it that need to be made, which are basically secret keys. So you and I, Brett, may get that because we've done these things before. It's actually a very simple change, a couple little lines of code, and you go ahead and push it, and you can actually hook up to a PayPal button and sell this stuff online.
So now, when they get that reseller, are they using your hosting, or are they making their own sales page? How does that work?
They would be making their own sales page. Yes, they would. And right now, we will be in the next probably week or so hooking up all the CNAME. So if they want to use their own domain, they can go ahead and do that as well.
Okay, but and then they upload their own logo or something so that people see their own.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I can click over to white label.
It's still your hosting for the software itself, though, right? It's not like you're going to give them, the system. If you're going to give away the system code, I'd like to have it.
No, our system. No, that one's locked down, Brett. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. So you're still doing all the back end stuff for them, right?
Yes, exactly.
What about support? Do they do their own support on this, or do they?
They have their own support link and contact email, but we will support anything that's happening. So I mean, if they want to support their customers, we will allow them to do so. And basically, where the support link and your contact email and your company name come into play are through the transactional emails. Thank you. Wow, I couldn't get it out. So when they create an account, there's that email that goes out and gives them their username and password and the support link. So that's where these types of things come in. But we will always support our clients. So when somebody purchases the white label option through us, we're fully supporting this application fully.
Okay, so since it's still your hosting and still in essence a system that you guys are managing, you guys are going to any updates or stuff. All these white label people automatically get the updates as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's one of the biggest things, like with having your own software. I know I have several SaaS, and you got to maintain the system. You got to keep it going. You got to things change. You got to update it. YouTube changes something. You got to go ahead and change the system. You guys do this for them, so they don't have to worry about all that.
Absolutely. Yeah. We both know it, man. It never stops, right?
Yeah. there's never a dull moment.
No.
But what is the price of the white label? Do you mind if I ask?
The white label is, oh boy, you caught me off guard here. But I believe we have it at $17 a month, $97 a year, or there's a one time of $149.
$149 one time.
Yep.
That's a good price because when I was a developer, $149 would have hired me for about 2 hours. So.
Yeah. I hear you, man. Yeah. Geez, when I left my corporate job, you couldn't even get me for an hour for yeah. That one time price will go away after launch. That's the special launch price for that, and it'll just be monthly after.
Awesome. So did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I really needed some water.
Yeah, this started off, I was going to ask you a couple of questions on Skype, and we ended up doing a full interview.
Hey, that's all good with me, man. Yeah, no, I think we've just about covered, the basics. Like I said, with that builder, I mean, you can get so involved in it. We could be on this call for hours. There's so many different ways and different things to do. But if you just want a quick, fast engagement, I mean, I pretty much did it for you. Just need to swap out some text.
Yeah, I think it could be a basic thing with just a video, a mobile responsive video with a form over it, or you can even get to the point where you're doing like an entire presentation almost, with different animations showing different graphics to add on to the video that's playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Showing at different times. Yeah, I think it could be pretty flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it for membership sites. For some reason, that always popped in my head when I first had this idea of, having your membership, your video, if you're doing some video training, is to have that up there. And they're always mentioning, links, or, you're making references in these videos, is to kind of have those appear, as you start to talk about them in the video. They can appear right below it. Your folks can go grab the download or grab the companion guide, that you're talking about, or whatever. I mean, there's so many different uses for it. It's just, you just got to use your imagination.
Awesome. Well, Keith, thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with your launch.
Thanks a lot, bud. I appreciate it.
Hey, have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man.